and I'm sure you get some of this where people are just like, okay, what's the harm in porn, right? They're like, who am I hurting? Do you ever have to explain this to people? Like, why quit? Why should they even consider it?
I'm not here to, yeah, no, my role is not to convince anybody to do anything.
By the time they come to you, they're already ready to quit? Or do you quickly, could you be like, okay, here's just a few reasons why, like depression, anxiety?
Yeah, by the time I'm having conversations with men, they've already identified that there's a problem. I think I probably, in enough of the content that we create on the education side of things, we get into some of the reasons. So people will find me because maybe they're curious if they have a problem. But by the time I'm having conversations with people, it's not a do I need to convince you to do anything? Because if I have to convince you that you need to make a change in your life, I don't want you in my program, and I'll tell you that. So yeah, it's a tough one, man, because like we're going to get into what do you want to do with your life? And I try to avoid the good, bad argument. Is it good? Is it bad? Obviously I have, have my views and how I see things, and I'm open to discussing that. But what you do with your life is your own choice and your own decision. If you could tell me, like, what is it doing for you? What good are you getting out of it? How is you consuming pornography serving you to become a better person in any way, shape, or form? And if there hasn't been a single person that's been able to give me an answer to that. So, okay, so you're participating in this behavior that is not doing anything for you. Why? So it's a matter of just flipping things back on the other person. I went and saw Frank Turek, who's an apologist, yesterday, and that's his approach to defending the gospel. It's somebody's going to give you this argument, just flip it back on them, and over time, whatever anybody says is going to end up eating itself. But no, I've been behind the scenes in the industry, and you've had people on the show, I know, that have exposed that. So if anybody says why or what's bad about it, I direct them to what's actually going on behind the scenes. Because you think you're consuming one thing and it's not. You think you're going to pornography for intimacy, but it's not. The way that the brain responds to watching, consuming pornography and masturbating is not the same way that the brain responds to the physical act of intimacy, even somebody touching you. So I think a lot of people get caught up in, oh, I can't have sex, I'll just replace it with pornography. And when you begin to look at it through the lens of neuroscience, you realize that it's causing this very harmful wiring in the brain, which in time can lead you to depression, social anxiety, erectile dysfunction. All these symptoms come later on down the road.